How did it beat One Piece? But how did it surpass that? I know that One Piece is one of the most popular ones. 안녕하세요. 미국에서 온 아린입니다.
혹시 한국 웹툰 많이 봐요?
네. 난 코미디 좋아요. 로맨틱 코미디도 좋아요. 그 웹툰도 영어 버전도 있거든요. 그 웹툰 앱으로 보통 코미디 같은 웹툰 많이 보고 로맨틱 코미디 너무 자주 봐요. 유미 세포, Spirit Fingers, and there's a lot. Actually, recently my favorite are those two. Yumi Cells or Yumi Seppo. I really enjoy the webtoon because I feel like it's different from a lot of the other romantic comedies I've seen. Because it's more, rather than being a romantic comedy, it's more the story of Yumi and then her character growth. So I really enjoy that story. And then Spirit Fingers is a little bit more cliche in that it's like stereotypical romantic comedy, but I like that type of cute thing. Kind of cringy, but kind of cute. I really like it. I also watch, can I check? Oh, recently I really like this one called Elucid. And it's more like a action comedy rather than a romantic comedy or anything. But I think the friendships made between the characters is really cute and like wholesome. And the comedy aspects of it are my favorite. So I look forward to those every week.
약간 한국 웹툰의 좀 특징이 뭐예요?
We have some, like on the Webtoon app, the English version, there are webtoons from Korea, Japan, from America, from like South America, from all over that get translated into English on the English Webtoon app. It's kind of hard to tell, honestly, where the webtoons are from, so I don't know which ones are American and which ones aren't. The only clues I get are like some of them have a lot of Korean sounding names or Japanese sounding names. But other than that, it's hard to tell which is from which country. But I can tell the art style for the Korean comics versus the Japanese comics. I feel like the Korean webtoons as opposed to the Japanese comics, I feel like there's a lot more like dead expressions, a lot more like really type expressions than in Japanese ones where they're very expressive in like a bright way. Like super like, oh my gosh, or oh no. But Korean comics, they have a lot more everyday emotions, like the oh my gosh, like really, like those type of emotions are a lot more. At least I see them a lot more in the Korean comics versus the Japanese ones.
약간 그런 차이는 약간 좀 있어요? 느껴지는 적 있어요?
Well, I guess there is that feeling of there's a difference between reading a manga like from a book versus reading a webtoon, which is scrolling. But there are Japanese webtoons that are the same way like that. And then a lot of the Korean comics are originally book form. So I think that difference is more like if it's paper versus scrolling form. Though Yumi Seppo is actually interesting because it's kind of block panels, so it's more like a slideshow than a long scrolling thing. So I guess it really depends on the artist's like their style. I've seen some artists on webtoons that they do like more scrolling sideways type things, scrolling down, upwards. I forgot the name of it. There's this one American webtoon that I really like, or I think it's American. I think it's at least Western. And then I've seen a lot of Japanese ones that have the very traditional Japanese manga type style, but translated into that scrolling pattern, but or scrolling format. But I like the scrolling format. I feel like it feels modern and easy to go through. A little too easy though. I spend too much time on webtoons.
미국에 되게 인기 있는 한국 웹툰이 있다고 하는데 들어본 적 있어요?
어떤 웹툰이요?
들어본 적 없어요?
네, I guess not. I guess it depends on. No. I haven't seen that. Maybe if it was on the main page of Webtoon.
왼쪽에 핫 솔로 레벨링이라고 써 있어요.
How did it beat One Piece? Honestly, I've always heard about One Piece. I never really watched it because I've always been more into the, I guess, traditionally girly shows or like comics. My friends really like it. I've played the video game with some of my friends. But how did it surpass that? I know that One Piece is one of the most popular ones. What genre is it? Solo leveling?
약간 궁금해요.
조금요? 네. Okay, this is going to be very difficult. The sound effects in Korean are really funny to me. Because I would never have imagined the word like pook for this type of action, to be honest. But especially with these images, it's kind of a cross between almost the Western style superhero type, stylized Korean style. So these type of transitions, like the beep 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 beep, and then transition to him going like waking up. I think those are really special to webtoons because of the reading platform that they are on. I guess yeah. They do try to do that with books, but the effect isn't as... Because on your phone it's going to cover up the whole screen, right? I mean, this one doesn't cover the whole screen because it's on a computer, but like webtoons on your phone, it would be a lot more dramatic. In some of the webtoons I watch, they even have like accompanying music that go along with the webtoon to give you the right like atmosphere, vibe for whatever the chapter was talking about. So I really like those aspects of it. I feel like I might be missing some of these important things. Ooh, wait, that's so cool. It really does kind of have an old comic book type feel to it. I feel like this would look really cool animated as well. I always like when there's like the fan-made animations or fan-made art that comes from these type of comics, because it just makes, you know, everybody creatively come together. If I get better with digital art, I also want to do fan art of some of my favorite shows and stuff, but I'm worried I won't do it justice. Like, look at how cool this is. Or I guess this one's an edit, but it's also, that's so talented. I think this is mostly fan art. It's really common in like, I see it a lot on Instagram or Reddit or even like Facebook. It's just supposed to be like switch it up on you type thing, or it's like reverse of whatever you were trying to do. It's called the Uno reverse card. It's been pretty popular. This is from a Netflix series, I think, but I haven't seen it, so.
약간 왜 인기가 많은 것 같아요?
그 Solo Leveling, I actually haven't seen that many fighting type Korean webtoons before, but the style, at least the style that I saw there, it is kind of in between what I've seen of typical Korean webtoons and then like Western comic book type style. The common theme of going into the RPG world or doing the RPG themes or quests and stuff like that, for me at least, it's really entertaining, so I can get why other people like it. It's like action adventure, but also like strategizing with your team, seeing different skills, and then maybe some really complicated issues can be kind of simplified to help guide the story along. You can easily get a weapon. You don't have to worry about where that weapon came from as much because it's like a video game, right? So I think that kind of simple but really story-based aspect is really nice. And then of course, watching really intense fight scenes is pretty cool. I can get why it's popular. I want to try reading it, but maybe in English. Today we talked about Korean webtoons and one of the really popular webtoons recently, Solo Leveling. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. 그리고 코멘트하면 나도 읽고 싶어서 나도 좋아요. 바이바이.